I've made up to $30,000 a month, and I've been flipping cars for over 6 years now. And it's allowed me to make thousands in a week or take an entire month of vacation anytime I want without having to listen to a boss. So in this video, I'm going to give you the reasons why you should consider full-time flipping cars. Starting with number one, freedom. Here's what my life looks like now. I wake up whenever I want, not rushing to get ready or sitting in traffic hoping I'm not late. I basically get paid to sit in bed and just look for car deals scrolling through Facebook. And then whenever I want, I could just go buy one at any time. And the fixing cars part is honestly relaxing. I'm in the sun and I can go take a break whenever I want. If I wanted to take a random Tuesday off, I can do it. If I want to travel for a week, I can do it. Nobody's checking in on me. Nobody's telling me what to do or controlling me. I could just do what I want. You get the point. The best part is whenever I need money, I could flip a car in under a week and make $2,000 profit. This is what actual freedom looks like. And the reason flipping gives you this is because you get to control everything. Compared to a regular job where you're trading time for money on someone else's schedule, you get 2 weeks of vacation a year and you get bossed around doing things you don't even want to be doing. With flipping cars, you're building something that works around your life, not the other way around. But freedom doesn't mean anything if you're broke. So let's talk about number two, money. When I bought my first car, I didn't even know I was going to become a flipper. I just found a Mustang. I think I negotiated it down to $7,000. And at the time, it was worth close to $11,000. That was the moment that changed everything for me. I thought if I could buy a car for cheaper than it's worth, why can't I just do this again and resell the car afterwards so I get a profit? And that's exactly what I did. Here's why the money in flipping is so good. Most jobs will pay you by the hour, you show up, you work, and you get your paycheck. The problem is you're stuck making whatever your hourly rate is, and you have to work a set amount of hours and you don't really get to choose when they are. With flipping, you get paid based on the value you create. You find a good deal, you fix it up, and you sell it for more than you paid. The profit is yours, and as you start to get better at your car flips, every month you start to make more money than the last. And there's not really a limit to how much you can make. I've had months where I've made $30,000, where I've sold a single car for a $21,000 profit, and a lot where I've made around $5,000. But I've also taken a ton of months off where I hardly made anything. But the point is, I can kind of pick how much I want to make. And if I don't want to make a lot, I don't have to. I just stop working. Most 20-year-olds are making a bit more than minimum wage. They're doing hard work for 20 to 40 hours a week and still living paycheck to paycheck. Or they might just not have as much money as they want. Meanwhile, flippers are making like $2,000 a car. So all you have to do is flip one a week, which is pretty easy, and you'll be making $8,000 every month. And if you do more, you can make more. Now I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds great, but it can't be that easy, right? So here comes number three, the risks. When I tell people I flip cars for a living, they always have the same concerns on why they don't do it. What if you can't find deals? I don't know how to flip cars. What if the car doesn't sell? Is this even legal? And I had all these same fears when I started, and here's what I learned. Most of them are just excuses people use to avoid taking action. Everything you try to start has a little bit of risk, but let's go through the main ones. First, inconsistent income. Yeah, some months might be better than the other, but that's true for any business, and if you learn to consistently flip a few cars every month, you start getting more of a steady income. Second, not knowing how to fix cars. The thing is, you don't need to be a mechanic. Most of the cars I flip just need basic stuff. Cleaning, small repairs, and maybe some new parts. And if you buy a car without many problems, all that small stuff is just common sense and easy fixes. I've taught people who knew nothing about cars how to flip, and most of them made money on their first car. Third, is this even legal? Yes, it is. You're allowed to buy and sell cars. Every state has some rules, but I made an entire video that goes over the 7 different methods on how you can flip as many cars as you want. And for all the things like learning how to find deals and selling cars, it takes a bit of learning, but once you do it a few times, it's easy and you only get better at it. The people who worry about all this stuff never start. But the people who just buy their first car and figure it out are the ones who end up making real money and actually end up doing this long term. You can never make any money if you never start. I started pretty early, but even after knowing I could make profit flipping, I always made excuses on why it had to be a side job and I couldn't do it full time. The thing is, I was making more money whenever I'd flip a car, so I don't really know why, but it made no sense why I didn't just start doing that full time. Obviously, later I ended up quitting my job to flip cars. It just took me longer than it should have. But here's the thing that really made me never want to go back to a regular job. Number 4, it scales. I've worked several regular jobs, and no matter how hard I worked, I was always making money for someone else. I'd show up, do my job, go home, and repeat. Their business was growing and making more money, but I didn't see any of that. My paycheck stayed the same every month. But when you're flipping cars, everything you build is yours to keep. The knowledge you learn helps you make more money on each flip. The profit goes directly into your bank account, and you become better at business. This is what it means to own a business. And flipping cars is one of the easiest business to start making money right away. You don't need a ton of money. I recommend starting with a couple $1,000s, but it can be with as little as $1,000. You don't need any employees. You don't need an office. You don't need a storefront. You don't need investors or loans. It's just you finding deals, adding value, selling cars, and keeping profit. And once you get good at it, you can scale it up however you want. You can flip more cars, you can make more profit per car, you can hire people to help you out, you could get a lot if you want to hold more cars, or you can just keep it small and enjoy the lifestyle. Most people spend their whole lives working for someone else and have nothing to show for it at the end of it. But when you're flipping cars, you're building business skills in a business that's actually yours. Number 5, it's simple. I think the reason most people don't try flipping is because it seems complicated or risky to them. They think you need to know everything about cars. They think you need a bunch of money to start. They think it's some kind of skill that only certain people have, but it's really not. The entire business model is simple. You buy a car for less than it's worth, and you sell it for more money than you bought it for. And whatever the difference is your profit. That's it. That's the whole thing. The hardest part really is just getting started, going out and actually buying that first car. But once you do it once and you see that it works, everything clicks. You should watch out though, because cars that have been in an accident or have had bad history can cause you to lose money. The nice thing is, if you get a Carfax report, it'll help you avoid all that and tell you tons of useful information on the car. To get a free one, just click the link in the description and I'll send it over to you. After you start, you only get better and faster. You find more deals, you get better at negotiating, you know what things sell for and what doesn't sell. But there's a huge skill you're going to need to know before you start, so check out this video where I show you all about it. And as always, I'm wishing you a lucky day.